what it was. Y'all know who it is. And you tuned in with Priceless Knowledge yourself. And I figured I'd put y'all down with a little cosmic insight for the day. And say, man, it's Tuesday. And I know I'm late, but we're going to continue on with this moon series. You got to understand, we had that great conjunction yesterday. And I had some other shit I need to take care of. So I wasn't able to bring y'all as much as I usually do. But say, man, here I am today, man. Speaking of the great conjunction, how y'all feeling today, man? How y'all feeling in the dawn of a new day, in a new era, the age of Aquarius, supposedly, huh? Nah, I ain't gonna fuck with y'all, man, but on the real tip, man, on the real tip, man. Right here today, there's gonna be a little something about those people that have moon in Virgo in their natal chart. And hey, we want to get into the details, right? And before I even go there, as I do every other time, I'm going to bring y'all a little bit about the moon in astrology and also give y'all a little quick breakdown about the sign of Virgo in astrology. So with that being said, let's get it cracking, man. What is the moon? The moon is the closest celestial body in relation to Earth in the whole entire solar system. And with that being said, it has the strongest effect on our moods and personality on a day-to-day basis. The moon is our instinctive awareness, our emotional nature. It's all about how you feel. It's how you internalize things. The moon is who you are before you put your mask on. You know what I mean? That's what the rising sign kind of is. And the sun sign is kind of the spirit, where the moon sign is kind of the soul. It's how you see you. You know, the moon rules the fourth house of the zodiac, as well as the sign of Cancer. In Vedic astrology, you know, it consists of the mind, but I just really think it's about all the things internal. It's about your emotions. It can even be about your thoughts because, you know, sometimes thoughts ignite feelings and vice versa. And so when we talking about this moon, man, you know, it can represent the relationship you have with your mother or the lack thereof. It can represent a whole bunch of things, man. For me, I think it's one of the strongest placements there is. It's plays a big part in the big three that consists of the sun, the moon, and the rising. As I said, the rising is kind of how you appear to others. And the sun is the spirit, or all the whole thing is together. And the moon is who you are inside. Okay? And so, what is the sign of Virgo? Virgo is the sixth sign of the zodiac that rules over the sixth house. It's ruled over by Mercury and it lords over the digestive system. It's symbolized by the Virgin, and its mantra is, I analyze, and that's what it does. This is mutable Earth, and when it comes to Virgo, this energy is definitely focused on the details, y'all. The Virgin, it likes to be exact, and it's notorious for being extremely picky and critical. But the one thing I say the Virgo sign is really about is about being of service to others and service to self. And wherever it shows up in the chart, it's going to show wherever we need to pay close attention to the details in order to be of the best service to ourselves. And in that, in turn, can be in the best service to others. You get what I mean? And I say that mutable Earth, it's hardworking energy that's tailor-made for the job of helping out wherever it can. And the common traits that come along with it are industrious, methodical, routine, thorough. And it's very efficient, and it wants to seek perfection. You know, I'd also say that the Virgo sign is about perfection. And, wherever it shows up in the chart, it might going to show you how you can pay attention to the details and find perfection. But that might just be an opinion. At the same time, I say that the sense of duty that it bestows, it's always about the greater good of ourselves and others. And so, what happens when you're born with the moon in Virgo in your natal chart? Man, you want to be in victim mode all the time and blame everybody else for everything. No, I'm just playing. Nah, when I think of Virgo moons, I think of somebody so critical of themselves and others emotionally that they're skeptical, of everything. I don't want y'all to be skeptical of that, but yeah, they're skeptical of everything, man. So much so that they kind of always appear detached emotionally. These are immensely intelligent people who are constantly analyzing their own internalizations, man. They're always thinking about how they feel. And kind of in the same way about the moon in Aquarius, which we're going to talk about here in a minute also. The their life works better with well-established routines and systems in both their personal and professional life. And Virgo is an earth sign, you know, and it's about making shit that's tangible and physical. And being mutable, it infers a need for variety and change. So when these two things are coupled together, the principle of refinement is kind of brought to life, you know. Moon and Virgo people are perfectionists at heart. And, you know, they kind of enjoy getting into the day-to-day routines like working out, running errands, and doing chores. You know, they inherently know that shit needs to be done. And they also inherently feel a duty to be the one that does it because they feel like they the only motherfucker that can do it right. You know what I mean? Because they're going to come in there talking shit if you don't do it the way that they do it anyway. They have photographic memories. I know this because my son is a moon in Virgo. And if you ask them a question about something, you know, that went down, you might as well pull up a chair because they finna tell you about the what temperature it was and, you know, who had what on and what the Dow Jones index was and what kind of dog they had and how many times it barked while they was there and everything else, you know. And you know why? It's because everything in them is centered around the details. It's centered around the details. And their soul kind of gets caught up in it, I could say that. And when it comes to Virgo moons and they mamas, oof, this is a motherfucker. I ain't gonna lie to you. They probably had the type of mom that, you know, they saw working very hard to fulfill her duties on the day to day. You know, whether through example, or strict instruction, you know, she groomed them to be responsible and make sure that they handle their shit. Even more so, you know, than the other siblings, I say, the mom kind of felt more responsible for the Virgo moon. And this was reciprocated in a big way by the Virgo moon child. The Virgo moon child felt responsible for their mother. And, you know, these two need each other so much so that sometimes it can be crippling. You know, in a video I talked about a few days ago, you know, I talked about Virgos and their mamas and, you know, it can be crippling and even enabling. And, you know, it might stem from the fact that the mother kind of spoiled the kid because, you know, for whatever reason may be, she felt it was her duty to get that child whatever it was that they wanted. So much so that she might even budget it in her baby shit. You know, like, hey, man, I know Junior likes this. So, you know, this check, that's already factored in. And, you know, she's going to do this and deliver on it without fail for this baby. And this baby is going to love her for it. And, you know, at the same time, they're going to take notice because you know why? Virgo moons notice everything. I mean, they notice everything. And, you know, it also teaches them how to handle their business too. Because they see that they mama delivered. So you know what they're going to do? They're going to deliver. You know, switching lanes, they're not very outwardly emotional people. Not at all. They ain't with that touchy-feely shit. And that don't mean that they don't love you. You know, Virgo is the sign of service. And so their love language is probably going to be acts of service. It definitely ain't going to be words of affirmation. You know, that's just not what they're about. And I will say that Virgo moons, man, they can look you in your eyes and say more than all the manuscripts in the history of the earth could ever write. And no matter how they portray themselves outwardly, you know, there's a spiritual knowing in the Virgo moons and an emotional maturity that comes from within the soul that can center you in hard times. And this is the fountain of their whole rationality, y'all. Like, man, they look at things rationally. And when they're in a lower vibration, I say that these are going to be extremely critical, pessimistic motherfuckers that always got some fucking negative shit to say. They're always defensive about shit and want to blame everything that has negatively affected them on everybody else. You know, nothing was ever their fault. And they kind of stick to one small detail of something that happened. Like, man, remember when you did that to me? And they hang on to it forever. They never forget it. And it's about time where like everybody else is past it. Like, get the fuck over it. Get the fuck over it. Stop blaming yourself. Stop blaming the universe. Take responsibility and you might be all right, man. That being stuck in the details, it's always going to be a problem because they're going to nitpick about one thing and not see their part in the overall failure of whatever the fuck happened. And hey, man, we all got shit to work on. So I know y'all going to be talking shit, but hey. And when they're more evolved though, they're going to be like quiet, introspective people who are always willing to do whatever the fuck it takes to help you. They're about service. They're wise souls that offer the most practical advice that, it's going to serve you wherever you need it at. Whatever you ask them about, they're going to tell you exactly what you need that's going to feed your soul. You know what I mean? That's what it's about. When they're in Virgo is about health. So when they're in a higher vibration, fucking with them is going to be healthy for you emotionally. Okay? And so I say either way though, Virgo moons are going to talk a lot of shit. They talk a lot of shit. It's because they pay attention to everything. They got everything down. That photographic memories, like, it's crazy, man. And they're going to pick you apart right off the rip. You better not have funky breath. Your shoes better not be dusty. You know what I mean? One of your eyelashes better not be hanging half off because they're going to roast you and they're going to let you know about it off the rip. And sometimes it's out of love just to tell you to get your shit right because usually they're going to keep themselves right, even without trying. I say this, Virgo is the sign of health, and Virgo moons, if they work out, like their body's going to be like a fine-tuned machine. I mean it. But if they get a cold, they're sick. If they tear a muscle, they know it. Like they're in tune with their bodies emotionally. They feel what's going on with everything else with their health. And that can be a detriment or that could be a big blessing. It's all about what you do with it. And back to what I was saying, my advice for y'all Virgo moons, is to miss me with all that fucking negative shit before I get mad, man. No, I'm just playing. But for real though, I've noticed that a lot of y'all have this tendency to like freeze up in situations that get too emotionally intense. And it's because you immediately start trying to analyze all the details and intricacies and, try to figure out the best thing to do, which can cause the bomb to go off while you're trying to figure out which wire is which. And boom, you're dead. Need I even say more? So let's just try to work on that. Okay? But never forget that it don't matter where you got your moon at. My son has a moon in Virgo. He's awesome. My sister has a moon in Virgo. She's awesome. Hey, man, I know plenty of Virgo moons that got it going on, man. Okay? But at the same time, they get on my nerves talking a lot of shit, complaining about everything, paying attention to everything. Want to bring up the time that you pulled the rug out from under them when you was kids, or the time you put your little sister in the dryer and turned it on when y'all was 5 and 4. I'm tripping, right? My bad. But anyway, this been some priceless knowledge itself. It don't matter where you got your moon at, man. You can leave all the negative traits alone. Just because you build like that, it don't mean you got to build like that. I appreciate all the love and support. Hey, man, you can hit me up in the comments below, or you can email me at mr.turner1300@gmail.com if you're interested in any astrological readings whatsoever. I'm talking about in Western. I'm talking about in Vedic. If you want to know about your numerology, we can chop it up about that. And hey, man, I'm here to talk it up with you. If any of y'all having any type of problem, astrology even aside, hey, man, feel free to get at me because I'm here to help, man. And I give a fuck. You say, how does he know me? He don't give a fuck. He don't know me, man. How can he give a fuck? No, I give a fuck. That's just what I do. Ask anybody that does know me. I got a lot of faults, but I care, man. And so if you need somebody to talk to, if you in a dark time, I've been through plenty dark times. Just hit your boy up. And I ain't even your boy. Fuck that. I'm your man. Okay? Because I don't even play that shit. I appreciate all the love and support, man. Please hit that like, share, and subscribe, man. Get me out there and help out some other motherfuckers. I'm going to hit y'all in a minute. A little something about those people that have the moon in Aquarius in their natal chart. Mm-hmm. Keep it real. Still trades up to my days up, baby.